What is up, YouTube? NYKia31 here, bringing you a online lobby game of All Pro Football 2K8.
Mike Ditka and Reggie White lead the way.
I am the Indianapolis Mustangs. Since putting the game back in the rotation, I just got reminded about how fun it is just to think of teams to make and to put together. This particular team is my West Coast offense and Cover 2 defense team. Surprise, surprise. Got Johnny Unitas, and of course if you're going to have Johnny Unitas on a team that has Colt-style unis, you gotta have Raymond Berry. So, Johnny Unitas pitching to Raymond Berry and Dante Lavelli with Dave Meggett as my halfback, running back, return man. I typically play with 4 skill position people because, you know, most people, just about everybody who plays this game builds the same exact style of team. Quarterback, running back, 2 or 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. Boring. Boring, boring, boring. You know, I'll throw a team together with that has an offensive lineman or 2 occasionally. I usually go with 4 skill position guys and whatever I need on defense. Since this is a West Coast team, I got Johnny U and his laser arm and his clutch attribute and toughest nails attribute. Got my 2 route god receivers for those crisp, quick routes. And Meggett is good enough to, you know, catch some balls out of the backfield with his soft hands and, you know, occasionally pop him in for a run or 2. This is pretty much a passing style team. And just doing my matchups here, and on defense I have Dexter Manley and Clyde Simmons at my defensive end for my edge pass rush. I first had, you know, going through different drafts of this team, I tried Clyde Simmons and Leonard Marshall, but I thought Marshall was just a bit too slow. So I put in Dexter there for some added speed there at the defensive end. And I got Nick Bonaconti. Gotta have a Notre Dame guy on my team. At middle linebacker, coverage linebacker. Defensive backs. My corners are Albert Lewis and Tom Brookshire, both good wrap-up tacklers. Cover 2 style corners, and my safeties are Nolan Cromwell and Joey Browner. Again, good coverage safeties that can tackle. And my generics are run coverage defensive line and coverage linebackers. So here we are in a lobby game, and this guy's got a team that has a pretty good defensive line. One of the things about APF that I've always thought was a little bit strange is that, and one of the problems I had with the game, or have with the game, is that I always feel like generic lines can block star linemen a little bit too well. There's my wrap-up tackler, Tom Brookshire, and because of that I can't really rely on just a base 4-man pass rush against generic tackles. I have to, you know, mix in some pressure here and there, so it's not really a true, you know, Tampa 2 style D, as I blitz a little bit more than you would, you know, than I would like. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's just the shortcoming in the game, and, you know, I've gotten to the point with this sucker where I say to myself, you know this game inside and out, you know the good and you know the bad. So, just, you know, if you pop it in, just have fun, who cares? You know? As I get gashed there on the ground, I took a bad pursuit angle with Browner. I love controlling Joey Browner. I really like controlling, you know, physical, big hitting safeties. But he gets on the board quick. I was thinking at first of doing a side-by-side comparison of EA Cover 2 and APF Cover 2. Then I figured, what's the point? People are going to, you know, no one's opinion is going to be influenced by that. I figured out. People are going to like what they like. They have their, you know, heels dug in to a certain extent, and that'll just be a waste of time. But just to stir the pot for what it's worth, I think Madden and NCAA do it better because of what I said before about the Legends versus generic linemen matchup. Because star defensive linemen, they blow hot and cold. When they're hot, they can destroy a game. When they're cold, you don't know that they're out there. So it kind of makes using legend offensive linemen, you know, not as appealing. That's why most people don't use them. And legend offensive linemen are really, really good. They really make a difference. In fact, you know, a lot of plays don't work properly unless you have a legend lineman blocking. The difference is night and day. And their generic tight end clanks one off his hands. But going back to what I was saying, in Madden and NCAA, I know if I had the matchup advantage along the defensive line, you know, they're going to do their thing. Like this guy has Reggie White, Fridge, and Clyde Simmons, and for most of the game, I don't even know that they're out there. Part of it is because I'm, you know, doing a short, you know, get the ball out of their quick passing game, but, you know, also it's because, again, the generic offensive lines block the star players, the star defensive linemen, you know, too well. If you put a generic corner up against Jerry Rice all game, you know, the generic corner is going to get, you know, worked over, as he should. That's not the case with linemen, which you'll see here. Like again, I just zip on by Reggie Whiteside with not a care in the world. But, you know, they do make enough of an impact that you do have to respect them. You can't just disregard them altogether, or you'll, you know, pay the price. The guy who I play a lot, you know, he knows how to get his star linemen those one-on-one matchups. And one-on-one matchups throughout a game will eventually come back and bite you. But you'll see how it plays out here as this drive begins to bog down. But that part of the game I've always liked the most. Just building different types of teams. Like I'm tinkering around. I have a run and shoot team that has Warren Moon on it with a 3-4 defense. And I have another West Coast team, which I did a highlight reel video of already. And I'm tinkering around with a vertical offense, Don Coryell style team with deep threat receivers, big play tight end. And I'm not really sure how I want to construct that team yet. I have right now, and there's Nick Buonacante getting the INT on that particular team. That's right there is textbook, you know, cover 2. When this game does something right, it looks really, really good. Like that rope of a throw there, that charge throw. I mean, that looks great. But when it goes bad, it looks really, really bad. And that's the, you know, the mixed bag of tricks that is APF. But anyway, on my vertical offense team, I so far have on it Marino, Ditka, and John Jefferson and Drew Pearson. And on defense, I'm kind of fooling around with who I want on that. Again, I'm going to play a 4-3, and there's Reggie White pulling through. And Reggie White should be doing that much more often against a generic tackle. Clyde Simmons almost got him, but I got the ball out there before he could bust through, and I could throw a touchdown pass to Lavelli. The other thing that I really like about this game is passing in this game really feels right. The passing engine, I think, is outstanding as far as what kind of throws you can make, control you have over your pass. Look at Clyde Simmons going in there and crashing the pocket. and being able to throw to receivers on the cut before the break point. That's all done, you know, exceptionally well in this game. And that last play there, you saw again a case of what should happen with a mismatch. You saw Clyde Simmons go bulling through there. And there's Dexter. He just got that ball off again, and Nick Bonaconti kind of crashes in there as he dives for no apparent reason. Clyde again almost got there. So they're being pretty active this game. I just wish they were that active on a game-in, game-out basis. It's just strange. Like sometimes they explode and wreak havoc, and other times they're just playing pity-pat all game. Like I would say I've played, like on the profile that I have this team on, my sack stats are I've played 35 games with this team, and I have 40 sacks. So, you know, a little over a sack per game, which, you know, sounds good, but, you know, those kind of Clyde Simmons, again, I had to send 5 there, but it's a case of one game they'll get 4, and then for the next several games in a row, they'll maybe get 1, and then explode again, and then go on a dry spell again. So even though I'm getting the sacks, that's not all about sacks. I mean, I want to see consistent pressure out of them more often. And like I said, like you saw in my Madden video where I had Muhammad Wilkerson going up against an overmatched Redskins line, you know, I was just dish-ragging, you know, the guy in front of me because I had the matchup advantage, and havoc was being raised all game, and that was happening consistently throughout the season. What happens in APF, if you played a 16-game, you know, online league season, yes, your stud pass rusher will probably end up with double-digit sacks, but he will probably end up with having, you know, half of those in 3 games. You know, that the sacks come in bunches. Here I'm trying to score before the half. And this is my bootleg wide receiver screen. Since none of the wide receiver screens in the game work, you got a hot route and make your own out of the H-back screen.
Unitas throws a bullet to the flat, and it is caught at the 46.
And the valet makes something out of nothing there. I don't remember if I score here or not, though. I don't think I do. Nope, bad throw there. Maybe I should have thrown to the outside. That's another thing. Way too many dropped interceptions in this game also. Way too many. Yeah, this is a beauty of a throw here. Zip! Right over the corner. And we get the countdown screen. The 2K countdown screen. But yeah, that was just a beautiful throw. So I'll post more videos of this team, and also a highlight reel when I get enough videos of it together, as well as my run and shoot team that has, of course, good old Warren Moon on it. So hope you all enjoy, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.